Exactly the way we like to start the week with good bullish breaking news. The end of June is here. This month is going to be remembered as a difficult one, but at the end, we're coming back up because a lot of institutions are coming to Bitcoin. They're realizing the bull run is going to come sooner or later, and they want to get a piece of the pie. That makes a lot of sense. And this one, I got two good news that we're just seeing unfolding. Number one, the largest Hong Kong bank founded, right now they're operating in United Kingdom, HSBC. And I do have a kind of personal connection because my dad used to have it in Mexico. They're really big in Mexico, but they're everywhere, right? So this is a 3 trillion asset total bank that is welcoming and is going to be looking into Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF to their customers. That's really good, right? I mean, I'll tell you the full story. And the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, it's saying banning Bitcoin might not be the most effective thing to do in the long term. Why? Well, because you have to address the main problem, which is the lack of digital payment avenues, right? Channels. So they're not saying use Bitcoin, but they're saying either create a CBDC or something else. They have to understand that Bitcoin and crypto and blockchain is the key to that. But I think that small steps get to the end goal. Let me tell you the full story. Don't go anywhere. Go ahead and smash the like button, and consider subscribing. Welcome. We're feeling good, guys. I think this last week, like I've said, it was a lot of adoption growth. Very good news thus far. We're also seeing the price of Bitcoin at around $30,000. So, I'm happy to see our movement, our progress. That's the way I can describe this. I'm not going to rush anything. And if it does drop a little bit, it's fine. We get cheaper prices. Justin, Hong Kong largest bank, HSBC, to offer Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF to their customers, right? And 2.96 trillion USD, right? Which is amazing. And this is a bank that obviously has a lot of influence. I will say in Hong Kong, it was founded there, which I would expect, right? Them to have a lot of, different powerhouse and, even lobbyists, whatever, right? Because Hong Kong, China, not the same thing, I know, but at the end of the day, China is maybe trying to let this go, and you never know, right? Sooner or later, China can come back to crypto, can come back to Bitcoin. And if that happens, we already know kind of like what big of an influence is going to be, because the price of Bitcoin dropped from the $60,000. I remember seeing it all the way to the 30,000, just like this, when China said we're going to be banning Bitcoin mining. I saw it about 2 or so years ago. And it is what it is, guys. But 1.19 trillion thus far. We have some winners and losers. Pepe, Bitcoin Cash so far, the same as yesterday. Obviously, they are not giving up. Altcoins are still rallying. But Bitcoin's dominance, on the other hand, we're looking at 51, meaning the higher the Bitcoin dominance, the lower the altcoins typically go. The lower the Bitcoin dominance, the higher altcoins go. So far, Bitcoin is on the eye of the beholder, and thus far, it's winning. Now, HSBC is just another bank adding it, right, to BlackRock, to many other ones, right, in the UK, in Germany, different parts of the world that want to get into Bitcoin quick. Why? Well, I believe they know what's happening thus far, and I'm really happy, right? We're making progress. But the only thing is, these are some ways how the current brick and mortar institutions want to create their own things. And they're going to be driving a lot of people into knowing what Bitcoin is. Not necessarily those are going to be new users for the current players of the crypto market, like Coinbase, Binance, Crypto.com. But it's going to open up the eyes to a lot of people and say, HSBC and the new EDX exchange from Fidelity, Citadel, and Charles Schwab, they don't offer me what I'm looking for. I may be able to use Crypto.com instead, or Binance, right? That's, I think, the way we're going to capitalize as the current industry. Not because obviously they want to make money, all the institutions, but they're going to open up the idea, the concept to crypto, and that on its own is the adoption we're looking for. Also, we have new IMF realizes banning Bitcoin is ineffective, which to me, comes to as a great news because, come on, guys, banning Bitcoin, it just means that you don't have the systems in place to accept a digital independence and autonomy for your citizens. So this is what they've said. I have the source here. Well, a few countries have completely banned crypto assets, given their risk. This approach may not be effective in the long run. Now, this is what they say, right? The region should instead focus on addressing the crypto demand, including citizens' unmet digital payment needs. And I believe that's why we're seeing a lot of on-ramp, I will say, the rails of crypto adoption on Flexa Network, Stripe, and all of these different Cash App, PayPal, where you can, from your USD or currency in your nation, go immediately into crypto and Bitcoin, right? That's what they're trying to do. And it's going to be working at the end of the day, and people are going to be using it a lot. The banks and everyone, government needs to what? Regulation, right? That's what they're saying right here in the June 22 issue. So in Latin America, right, how big it's going to be for all these people, all these countries, especially, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, and more. I think once these countries really become more independent with their economy and monetary system, they're going to be basically saying, you know what, I think Bitcoin could be a really good idea for it. But some countries are just going to say, no, we don't want crypto at all and leave us alone. I think Mexico is going to be one of those, sad but true, with the current president. It is what it is. You really need someone in charge who knows what it's doing when it comes to crypto. And like in the US for the 2024 election, we have Robert Kennedy, we have who else? Well, I believe this guy from Florida, right? DeSantis, also saying good things about Bitcoin, right? We haven't heard anything Biden, Trump, but at least there's some people who have an idea when it comes to Bitcoin, and that's always bullish. And check this out, fam. I found this for us. Obviously, the returns in the last 10 years have been amazing. 9,000 for Bitcoin, 5,000 for Bitcoin, 1,000 for Bitcoin. And right now, the last one was roughly 300%. In my opinion, fam, we have really survived a 2022 bear market, which I lived with you every single day. We're coming to better territory. And this is exactly what I've said at the end of my live yesterday, because the curve logarithmic zones for Bitcoin are going to be massive. At least $100,000 Bitcoin. I don't want to say guaranteed, but it's really coming, and I think everybody can see that at the end of the day. And even here, you can take a look how Bitcoin is really performing better than other must-known assets and companies in the world. Obviously, when it comes to AI, Nvidia beats everyone so far in 2023. So this is it, everybody, for the price of Bitcoin at $30,000 holding. You already know my levels. We'll see what happens, but I'll be looking at every single piece of info. I'll run it by you. Thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Good news starting the week. Let's be bullish. Peace.